Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. We welcome you to our online teaching academy Ekalaiva. Yesterday we started our new lesson Man and Environment, and we discussed about environment and other factors. We discussed about man-made, natural factors, everything. Today we are going to continue this. Children, today we are going to discuss about human settlements. First, what is a settlement? A settlement can be described as any temporary or permanent unit area where people live, work and lead an organized life. So for example, we are residing in a particular area, isn't it? Sometimes maybe temporarily or sometimes maybe permanently. So the place where we are living and from where we are working and where we are leading and planned and organized life. So that is called a settlement. It may be a city. We may be living in cities, towns, villages or other agglomeration of buildings. Agglomeration means clusters or groups. So during the early days, we would have studied about early man in your lower classes. Man preferred tree branches, caves, pits and even rockets as his shelter. But as he developed, he slowly learned how to domesticate animals and how to cultivate food crops. So the slow growth of the human being especially took place near the river valleys like the Nile, Indus, Huang Ho, Euphrates and Tigris. So during the early stages, man built huts and mud houses. Slowly settlements came into existence. He started to settle in one place. So a settlement generally consisted of cluster. Cluster means group of houses, places of worship and place of burial. In our previous lesson we discussed about the burial grounds which ancient people followed, isn't it? So later settlements developed into villages and then several villages together formed a town. Then bigger towns developed into cities. So settlements were formed in different shapes, sizes and locations. We are going to discuss about these things in detail. So first, classification of settlements. So on the basis of the occupation, settlements may be classified as rural and urban settlements. So rural means village areas and urban means cities and towns. So depending upon the occupation of the people, settlements are divided into two. One is rural and another one is urban. So first, rural settlement. So rural areas means most of the people, they depend on agriculture for their livelihood. So people are engaged in primary activities like agriculture, forestry, mining and fishery. So that type of settlement is known as rural settlement, and most of the world settlements are rural. They are mostly stable and permanent. So these settlements will be stable and permanent settlements. So the most unique feature of these rural settlements are definitely vast. The area will be vast, open spaces. As their main occupation is agriculture, the land will be greenish. Pollution-free environment, as there will be no congestion in rural areas, no traffic. So pollution-free environment prevails in the rural settlements. Now, patterns of rural settlements. Pattern means a particular design, a particular way. So first, rectangular pattern. So rectangular pattern of settlements, we can find these settlements especially in plains and or river valleys. So here the roads are rectangular and cut each other at right angles. So in this diagram also you can see that. Next one, linear pattern. In a linear pattern, the houses are located along roads, railway lines or edge of the river valleys. In this picture you can sea, or along a levee. So levee means embankment for preventing flood, a construction which is constructed there to prevent flood. Next one, circular or semicircular pattern. The pattern of settlement that is found around the lakes, ponds and sea coasts, called circular or semicircular pattern. So here also you can see it is circular and here it is a semicircular pattern. Next one, star-like pattern. So star-shaped settlements develop in places where metalled and unmetalled road converged. So metalled means the roads which are laid, which are durable, which were laid using coal, bitumen and unmetalled road which was laid using sand and sometimes with soil. So star-like pattern we can found in these where these two roads meet each other. So in the star-shaped settlements, houses are spread out along the sides of roads in all the directions. Next, triangular pattern. So triangular patterns of rural settlement develop at the confluence of rivers. Confluence means flowing together, where two or more rivers flow and join each other. Next one, T-shaped, Y-shaped, cross-shaped or cruciform settlements. So cruciform means shape of cross. So T-shaped settlements develop at tri-junctions where three roads meet together. So here you can see. And Y-shaped settlements emerge as the places where two roads converge together. So cruciform settlements develop on crossroads where two roads cross each other. So we can find these types of four roads in this type of settlement, the cruciform settlements. Now nebular pattern. Nebular means group. The arrangement of roads is almost circular, which ends at the central location. So you can see all these settlements faces towards the central or nucleus of the settlement around the house of the main landlord. If it is a village means it may be around the house of the main landlord of the village or around a mosque, temple or church. Okay children, we discussed about the rural settlement. Now we are going to start urban settlement, that is cities and towns. So urban is the term which is related to cities and towns where people are mostly engaged in non-agricultural activities such as secondary, tertiary and quaternary activities. So secondary activity means raw materials are processed into finished products. Tertiary means service sectors like banking, and quaternary activities means research and development. So the common characteristics of an urban unit is that they are compact. We can see the settlements will be in compact, congested and liable to the large number of population. So population density, more number of people will be residing in urban areas. So they comprise of mostly man-made structures. We couldn't find any natural green fields like that. Only man-made structures mostly we can find. So which is constructed for the requirements of a society, for administration purpose, for cultural, for residential purposes and also religious functions. So the factors which are responsible for urbanization or employment opportunities will be better in urban areas. The condition will be suitable for business, education and transport facilities will be available in urban areas. Now classification of urban settlements. Urban centers are classified as towns, cities, metropolitan cities, megacities, conurbation, depending on the size and services available and functions rendered to it. So what are the facilities, amenities available in that particular area? Depending on that, it is divided. First, town. So town is larger than a village but smaller than a city. So it is a place where population is less than 1 lakh. So for example, you can take Arakonam near Chennai. Next one, city. Cities are larger than towns and have a greater number of economic functions like production, distribution and all. So the population in cities is more than 1 lakh. Example, Coimbatore. Next one, metropolitan cities. So these cities accommodate population between 10 lakhs and 50 lakhs. For example, Madurai. Next one, mega cities. Cities with more than 50 lakh population are called mega cities. Example, Chennai. Next one, conurbation. Conurbation, it is a region which comprises of more number of cities and large towns. So we can find more number of cities and towns. So that type of areas are called conurbation. For example, you can take Delhi. So next one, economic activities. Economic activities are efforts which involve production of a product, distribution of a product and consumption of commodities and services at all levels within a region. So there are different types of economic activities: primary activities, secondary activities, tertiary activities and quaternary activities and quinary activities. So first we are going to discuss about primary activities. It is pertain to the extraction of raw materials. So extraction of raw materials from the earth surface. So for example, you can take food gathering, hunting, lumbering, fishing, cattle rearing, mining and agriculture. These all these activities provides raw materials. Next one, secondary activities which transform the available raw materials into finished products. Example, iron and steel industries, automobile manufacturing, etc. Now tertiary activities, it is also known as service sector. So which do not produce goods on their own but support the process of production. So example, transport, communication, banking, storage and trade. Next one, quaternary activities. The activities which are related to research and development as well as knowledge are called quaternary activities. For example, we can take services like consultation, agencies are there, education and banking comes under this category. Next, quinary activities. It is related to creation, creativity, rearrangement, interpretation, making changes in the existing ideas. All these things comes under quinary activities, and decision making is the major process in this activity. Example, business executives, scientists, policy makers, especially in the government, all these people comes under the quinary activities. Okay children, today we discussed about different economic activities and also we discussed about different types of settlement. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you children.